Hey, how's it going, everyone? If you didn't catch mine and Robin's first reactions to the Clone Wars coming back, him and I um, talked a little bit of the passing of Jon Schnepp. He sadly passed away on Friday. Um, I'm just going to do this live stream as a tribute to him. Um, for anyone who does join in, um, feel free to share your memories of Jon Schnepp. In a little while, Kaden Stetler is going to join the live stream and give a few words. Um, just um, his passing was pretty sudden. He had a pretty massive stroke on about a week ago. He had a pretty massive stroke and he was on life support for a couple of days. His girlfriend or fiance took him off life support, and unfortunately, he passed away. Um, Jon Schnepp was a very special individual. Um, he was very passionate of what he did. Um, Pretty much with Jon Schnepp, what you saw on camera was how Jon Schnepp was off camera. He was as passionate about stuff as he was on camera. Um, he, this is going to be a hard stream to do, but I'm going to do my best to get through it. Um, he did stuff outside of the box, especially with the death of Superman Lives, which I'll talk about in a little bit. I'm going to add Kaden in so he can give some words. Um, so let me just add him in.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going?
It's all right, man. How are you?
Oh, just trying to get through this.
Yeah, I understand, man. Um, when you said about doing this stream, I was definitely interested to pop on because there is one thing I wanted to say, and it's kind of interesting because honestly, I never really paid too much attention to him,
Yeah.
and I was like, I think I had seen, I'd seen him on Collider and all that stuff. What's up,
Mm.
Steve? Yeah, Chris, what's up, bud? Um. I never really paid too much attention to the guy, and not that I didn't think it was funny and all that. I just, I didn't. And then after his death, I started really looking into all these articles that were released about him. You know, um, it was interesting because you can tell he really left behind this legacy of like
Yeah.
love and you know just being there for people and really raising other people up, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And specifically, I remember this one article that said it was like a true hero, called him a true hero, which was which is awesome. You know what I mean? For someone to really have that impact on other people to be remembered that way. And I think the one thing I wanted to jump on and say was basically in life, I think that should really kind of be the goal of everybody,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
because unfortunately, the way it is, we are all gonna die
Yes.
someday. Um, and we can never really plan that or know exactly when that's going to be.
Mm.
Obviously, some
Yeah.
people have more of a timeline or something like that, but I could. that something could fall on me right now and that'd be it. You know what I mean? Like it's just the way life is. You know, crazy things can happen, or I might be 100 something, still kicking around, an asshole. No, but um, I think that's like the most important thing is just when how you need to confront life is really how you want to be remembered,
Yeah.
and really leaving behind a legacy of love and uh, being remembered as someone who was there for other people and was
Yeah.
really just like a pillar in the community. And basically, I mean, long story short, I guess the best way to really sum that up is nobody remembers your money or your
Yeah.
cars, the way you dress, like that. You know, the true measure of a man is what kind of person he
Yeah.
was, and woman, or whatever you identify as,
Exactly.
whatever it is. Uh, you know what I mean. But it's really what you are remembered as, and obviously Schnepp was remembered as someone who was a hero
Yeah.
for our community, or this nerd fandom community. It was great, and it's really made me look at him, seeing all of your reactions to it, because obviously everyone at the network and uh, Brian Wensloff, everybody's upset,
Yeah.
obviously, and a lot of people are. Like a lot of people is obviously it was death. That's
Yeah.
terrible. I think not to quote Yoda and everything, but not to mourn it obviously, but you know the scary thing about death, and really the only scary thing about death, is just that we don't know what happens.
Yeah.
As just as anybody can be, factually, no, nobody really knows what happens.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe something really cool happens, man. Maybe nothing happens. But
Well, like I've
I
been
think
saying, he's one with the Force now, and he's
exactly,
become more powerful than anyone can imagine.
exactly, man. And it's, I guess my final words to really wrap up what I'm saying is, don't be afraid of death. It's something that happens to everybody, but really just live your life every day
Yeah.
as if it could be your last day. Really live your life to the fullest, and try and leave behind a legacy that is going to be remembered for positive things.
Yeah.
Nobody. That's how you're remembered. It really. That's how you live forever. Really, is through your memory and the legacy that you leave behind. And so that's just my little message for everybody. And go out and accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
Put your mind to the thing and you can accomplish it, because the sad part is life is really short, and who knows when it's over. So don't ever hold yourself back, and try to be remembered for the person that you were.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on, Kaden. Um,
Problem, buddy. Thank you for having me on.
Anytime. I really appreciate you coming on and giving your words. Yeah, this is
Hope I
gonna
made
be
that was some deeper stuff. I hope it made sense.
honestly, that is kind of what I was looking for this stream. Not only to just celebrate Jon Schnepp, but kind of give a message about something like that, to leave something behind that you're proud of. And he definitely left behind a legacy to be proud of. Um,
I
and
mean, that's what we strive for, man.
yeah,
Um, it's important, as excuse me, as what we do as podcasters. It's like such a 50-50 coin, because on one side, we don't get paid to do this. This isn't a
yeah,
job. Ever There's few people in the world that that's the only thing they do is podcast.
yeah,
So we all obviously have jobs and all this other stuff, but we're choosing to put ourselves out there to try and make an impact on whether it's the whole community or just single people. It's been
yeah,
the wildest thing for me through Rebel Cause to have people tell me that I gave them hope, and to that I've inspired them, and that is the most beautiful thing. It really is. And I would urge people to really find find what it is that you love to do and just do it. Like it's
Yeah.
really, I mean, I guess to quote Kevin Smith, I mean, because
I
Batman
might be
Batman
wearing his
jersey.
jersey.
We're all big Kevin Smith fans over here.
Yeah.
Rebel Cause, Brick City, all around. We all love Kevin Smith.
Hmm.
Um, when he wanted to become a filmmaker, he talked to his sister, and she was, and he was like, I think I want to be a filmmaker. And she's like, then be a filmmaker. He's like, yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to try. And he's like, no, just be a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Your filmmaker just hasn't made a movie yet. That's fine. You're going to do it. And that's really like the one of the most important things in life. Just, you know, whatever it is you want to be, spend every day of your life, even if it's a little thing,
Yeah.
becoming that. Whatever it is, unless it's like a murderer, don't do that. That's
Yeah.
shitty. Unless
Unless
it's
if it's like a vigilante killer and you're just killing all the bad people.
that's like the Boondock Saints kind of cool stuff. So maybe we'll talk about it. But that's important, because as well as anybody, you have built this following of people um, that love hearing you talk about not only Star Wars, but various other fandoms, including Marvel and your wrestling stuff, which I don't understand. That's fine. Uh, and it wasn't an easy road, I'm sure,
Yeah.
but it's not that hard either. Once you get in that mindset of I'm going to do this,
Yeah.
and that's one of the most important things too, is like the community around you helped make that happen. I'm sure.
Yeah.
All of your friends and a bunch of podcasters, so it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
But when I got into it, man, I was just a Star Wars fan. I
And
was like, what's all this? You know what
yeah.
I mean? And I had no experience with. Full disclosure, my dad still presses the record button, bro. I don't really know how to do that. I just talk. You know what I mean? And it's what I love to do is to, talk to different people and just
Yeah.
try and make a small difference if I can, which is the point. And obviously Schnepp really did that for a lot of people. So
Definitely.
it's important. Obviously this isn't someone that we ever met or anything like that,
Yeah.
but it's important to really remember these kinds of people because they're some of the most important.
Yeah. Definitely. Um, the way I compare his passing, the only other person that I can think of that was universally loved was Carrie Fisher. These are both
Yeah,
kind of the exact same reactions that I saw with Carrie Fisher for Jon Schnepp. Universally, everyone said everything nice about Jon Schnepp and giving tributes and everything like that, like I've been doing the past few days. And yeah, it was a lot harder for me with Carrie Fisher, but it's been kind of difficult with the passing of Jon Schnepp too. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, we didn't really know him, but in a way, because of Collider and everything else that he did, in a way, we kind of did know him, similar to Carrie Fisher, where she let everyone in to her life.
mm.
I don't think
Which is
Jon Schnepp
amazing.
ever got that far with bringing people in,
Mhm.
but with Collider and everything, you kind of got an idea of how he was as a person.
Yeah, and you know what, man, and to really throw it to someone again, but it's someone who gave him a huge shout out and condolences at Hall H this year at
Yeah,
San Diego Con. Um, is Kevin, and
yeah,
that's the weird thing, like you just said, I'll call him Kevin, but I've never met the man, but I feel like I know the dude. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And that is the power of this podcasting stuff, and that's why it's our responsibility of everyone, not just podcasters, but people in a public, in the public eye at all. I don't, obviously we're not famous or anything, but people listen to what we say, and people
yeah,
obviously like what we say, so that's awesome. And when Kevin had his heart attack, that was a really
yeah.
hard for me, and
That was a very
it's
scary day.
yeah, that's the hardest thing because I was so upset and like my mom and like Tori understood why, but
Yeah.
a lot of other people are like, why are you like bummed out about this famous dude? Yeah, I'm like, well,
Why are you
because
bummed
this
out
dude's
about
been,
this pothead?
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, because the dude's voice has been in my ear for the past
Yeah,
10 years. You know what
yeah,
I mean? I grew with him growing, and he made me laugh and really
yeah,
dropped. Honestly, I've never been more inspired than by some of the words he said.
yeah.
Um, some of his inspiring stuff that he talks about is just, it's like, we'd hit you like right where it counts, man.
It really
Because,
does.
he's someone we can relate to really easily. He was just a normal dude who had a big idea and he made it happen. And it's the same way with Schnepp. He was nobody at one point.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, we're all somebody, obviously, but in the public eye, he was
yeah,
nobody, and then made things happen, man. It's it's inspiring to see
yeah,
how much of an impact a person that even we've never met has on people that, like again, that we've never met.
yeah.
It's crazy. Say
It
some
really,
stuff. I'm losing.
it's all good. It's like you were saying, to make something that you want to make. Nobody was going to make a movie about Superman Lives, the movie that Kevin Smith was writing. And Jon Schnepp was like, I want to see that movie. I'm going to make it a documentary. And he made it. And it is easily one of the best documentaries. He got interviews with Tim Burton, which is a very rare thing. Um, he
Yeah.
got he got like Jon Schnepp was like digging deep for stuff like this. Like he was intrigued by a lot of it, and he got Kevin Smith
Oh, man.
interviewed in it. He got to interview the executive producer, I believe, the one that wanted a big giant spider that he wanted Superman to fight. um, and he got to interview him, and he was like, you see him on camera and interviewing the guy and everything. And you get to see what Nicolas Cage would have looked like as Superman. I still don't see him as Superman. Maybe a coked up Superman, but uh,
He's face off for me, bro. So,
yeah. Um,
and national.
but yeah, just if anyone ever gets a chance to see The Death of Superman Lives, definitely watch it. It is worth your time. And
Where could we if we wanted to? I've
um,
never actually love to
I
see it.
believe you can find it on Netflix. You can. I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon Prime. Um, it's very hard to get a physical copy of it. Um,
Hmm.
they might still be on his website. I'm not sure if with his passing, if his website is still going to be up much longer. Um, I think his girlfriend or fiance will leave the website up there for his fans and everything. Um, but definitely, if you're able to find it on Netflix, Amazon Video, or Prime, whatever it's called, definitely give it a watch. Even just to watch to the interview with Kevin Smith and the interview with the guy that just wanted Superman to fight a giant robot spider. um,
And didn't want him to fly, didn't want him using none of the powers. It's crazy.
yeah. Um, yeah, that's a whole different subject for another time. But yeah, just everything that he did with Collider and AMC. I hope I'm not keeping you too long, Kaden, if you had other stuff you had to do. Oh, he,
Got a message there.
oh,
No, I'm completely good, man. I'm down to
all right,
talk. I
all
I,
right.
I messaged him before we started, and I was like, hey, man, I have like 2 or 3 minutes of stuff for it to say, but I mean, I have nothing going on. But of course, now I'm on and just talking, so it's gonna be a while.
I
So
mean, if you want to co-host with me, it might work better instead of me just rambling. So, um,
sure. Hey, if I'm gonna do it though, keep talking. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick.
that's fine.
All right.
Um, but yeah, his Jon Schnepp stuff with AMC, with John Campia, those two were the ones that really started the movie talk stuff on YouTube, and then moving to Collider and doing Collider Heroes, where I believe he really found his footing um, with Collider Heroes, doing that show on there. He would make appearances on Jedi Council as Boba Schnepp. Um, and the thing I liked about John when he was on Jedi Council was he was a fan of Star Wars, but he wasn't like a die-hard fan. Like he didn't have any objections to anything that was like going around. Granted, he's not a huge fan of the prequels, but he's not going to go out of his way to like not like bash the fans that like the prequels. But he'll give his opinions on it, even if he doesn't really like get where the story might be going. Before Episode 7 was coming out, anyway, because he didn't go into the extended like universe or the new canon anyway. Um, he was one that just really watched the films. It was really comic books. That was his calling to. Um, and the first big break for him was Apocalypse, that animated show on Adult Swim. That was his. That and Space Ghost. He was a director on Space Ghost back in the day before it was on Cartoon Network. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then Kevin Smith was a writer on there too, so I find that pretty funny. Um,
Yeah.
and just if anyone's like kind of just watching just to watch, post in the comments like your favorite kind of Jon Schnepp moments from Collider or AMC or just in general, or your favorite shows or something like that from Jon Schnepp. Just this is gonna just kind of be a just all loving Jon Schnepp live stream right now. I think it's better that Kate is on here. That way, I kind of don't get too emotional.
Hey man, what you gotta do, man? That it's important to be upfront about stuff. I think that's the reason people love people like Schnepp and Kevin Smith and stuff like that, and Carrie, as you mentioned, Carrie
Yeah,
Fisher. Is they just put it all out there, man, and they don't try to act like, oh no, I'm fine. They're human. Just
yeah,
gonna be straight up about it. You know what I mean? And like I said when I started, you know what I mean? I really had not paid too much attention to Schnepp.
yeah,
It's nothing against him. I think he's funny, and he's a good dude, obviously. And in hindsight now, I wish I would have paid a little more attention. Obviously, losing him so early, but I'm upfront about it. You know what I mean? And it's important to just be translucent like that,
yeah,
transparent. That's that's the word I'm looking for. Uh,
yeah,
it sucks, dude. But like I said in the beginning, this dude left behind this legacy of love and compassion, and people calling him a hero, dude. Like
yeah,
that's the thing.
yeah. Definitely. I wish because he was gonna do a TV series with Kevin Smith, um, kind of just with like unfinished like TV pilots and stuff like that. Like the rumored back in the day, the rumored Star Wars TV series that was supposed to happen that Kevin Smith was rumored to direct, and Mark Hamill was supposed to come back as Luke Skywalker for that. He was going to research that. He was going to research every obscure thing that you might have heard of in the media or anything like that. And him and Kevin Smith were going to both create this show. I
Hmm.
don't know if it was going to be on actual TV or it was going to be a series on like YouTube or something like that. But that had me very intrigued. And I don't know if you saw the video from Hall H where Kevin Smith was talking. Kevin Smith is going to finish this project for Jon Schnepp. For anyone that was concerned about that, Kevin Smith is going to finish it for John.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and that just shows how good of a person Kevin Smith is. Um, when I saw them, because I gave them a big love fest yesterday, when I saw Jay and Silent Bob Get Old last year, it was easily the most fun I've had in a very, very long time. Um,
Hmm.
and like I said in all my posts about it, I will never think of a Boston cream pie the same way again.
Oh
um,
god.
but for recommendations for things to look from Jon Schnepp, just on YouTube or anything really, watch Apocalypse, if I could actually talk. Um, Watch his interview on Fat Man on Batman with Kevin Smith, where he talks about the death of Superman Lives. Um, on Collider, they have the best of moments with Jon Schnepp. Watch that because all of his best moments on Movie Talk, Jedi Council, pretty much everything he was on with Collider. Um, and I can't remember really anything else that I would recommend looking up. Pretty much anything that he did at Comic Con. Like
Yeah, he's a con man.
yeah,
In the sense
um,
of saying, best way of saying that anyway.
yeah,
Like I heard a lot about that. He was at home at con. I think so. I think oh, what's the other guy from Collider? John Campea called him the Prince of Cons.
yeah, and that easily fits Jon Schnepp. Granted, I didn't know him, but just judging his personality on camera, he was easily at home at Comic Con. Similar to how I am when I go to Comic Con. I feel more natural when I'm at Comic Con or any kind of like comic or anime convention, really anything where I'm just surrounded by everyone that loves the same thing that I do. And
Oh yeah, I have the same feeling at every event we do.
yeah,
That's yeah, totally. I get that.
and
It's, like you said, you're surrounded by other people that are maybe not specifically the same thing at Comic Cons,
yeah,
obviously. I mean, some people obviously, but surrounded by a bunch of other nerds, man. It's great. You know,
yeah,
nobody's like judging the other, or you can just have fun and really just enjoy the same fandoms very openly. You
yeah,
know, it's not the internet, so people aren't being shitty about, oh, I didn't like this, whatever. It's just a great time, and everyone loves everything at Comic Con.
yeah,
That's just what's out there that way.
yeah, easily. And this is kind of sidetracked from Schnepp, but you do like Lord of the Rings, right?
Oh yeah.
It is rumored at either Boston or Rhode Island Comic Con they're going to do a Lord of the Rings reunion with all the hobbits and as many of the other actors as they can do. And they're all going to do a giant like group photo. They're going to
Wait,
try and get all nine of the fellowship, um, but it'll be very difficult. Um,
at what is this?
Either Boston, the one that's in about 2 to 3 weeks, or
That
in
you're going.
Rhode Island. Um,
That would be cool.
yeah. They're well, if people are following Boston Comic Con, they are doing a Back to the Future reunion. Um, Michael
What?
J. Michael J. Fox is going to be there. Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, and I always forget his Tom Wilson. Biff.
Biff?
Yeah, Biff is going to be
Yeah.
there. Crispin Glover is not going to be there because he is off being weird somewhere else. um,
Sad, right?
he's a very weird individual.
I've
But
heard. I've heard
but
about
then
that.
again, we all kind of are weird. um, um,
That way. No.
yeah. Um, I do wish this is kind of a little bit of a Comic Con, Boston Comic Con talk, because last year at with the Jay and Silent Bob, I didn't physically go to Comic Con. I just went for Jay and Silent Bob Get Old. Um, and I saw a little bit of the convention, and I'm like, next year I want to attend because I've never attended Boston Comic Con before. Um, and they gave a little preview to Jay and Silent Bob the reboot.
Oh,
And
last year.
last year, they pretty much read off of the script that Kevin Smith had, um, and it's really really funny. Um, I
That's awesome.
wish I wish that it was done in time because Kevin said if the Jay and Silent Bob reboot is done by Boston Comic Con next year, we will premiere it at Boston Comic Con. Unfortunately, it is not done yet. So,
Yeah. And that's all right, man. Dude had a heart attack. It's all
yeah,
right.
yeah. There's actually a
Watch Holly.
show. Hmm?
Did you watch Hollyweed?
I did. I posted it on my Facebook. I was about to mention that. Um,
Yeah. It was really funny.
it was really funny, especially when they obviously had to edit it, but when he comes back the next day and he just lost all this weight, um, and and obviously it was after his heart attack, and he's like, "Did you lose like 40 pounds overnight?" Kevin's like, "Yeah, I just took a massive dump and I just lost like 40 pounds." uh, and it's amazing how young Kevin Smith looks now that he lost so much weight. It is
I
amazing.
know.
Um,
It's crazy. I don't know if you've seen either. I don't know how much of a rap fan you are. Jay and Silent Bob are actually in like one of the newest Drake videos.
yep, yep, yep.
Did you see
Because
that? Degrassi, man.
yes, they were
Yep.
both on Degrassi, and the Drake music video was a big Degrassi reunion, and
Yep.
it was just awesome seeing Jay and Silent Bob on there. Even if you were a fan of Degrassi anyway, seeing all the old characters interacting with each other again too was cool. Um, and Jay and Silent Bob trying to sell weed to the principal.
Oh God.
But I can't wait for Jay and Silent Bob the reboot, because this is obviously just going to make fun of all the reboots that Hollywood has done in maybe the last 20 years, maybe
Yeah, man.
longer. Um, I don't know if he's going to get Ben Affleck in it again. I hope he does somehow. Um,
Yeah, that'd be
or
pretty
at least,
cool. That would be cool.
or at least reference something about him being Batman or something like that. Um,
Yeah, man. Yo,
uh,
Affleck was the Phantoms.
uh, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was easily my favorite of the Clerks saga films. You know what I mean? Because
Really?
yeah, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is my favorite one out of all of them. Mainly
Hmm.
because I
Mine's
like Jay and Silent Bob the most. Um, and they have the lightsaber duel with Luke Skywalker.
yeah, that's I
And
always loved Clerks. Clerks 2 is mine. You know, it's
it's
again. Go
for
ahead.
me, it's Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Clerks 2, and then Mallrats.
Mine, I'd have to say. I mean, Clerks and Clerks 2 are both special movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think I like them a little bit more in Clerks 2. Um, so Clerks 2 probably Clerks 1, but that's
yeah.
very close. It's hard to tell. Probably Mallrats. Uh, Jay and Silent Bob,
Mm.
Dogma,
Dogma's
and
really good.
then and then Chasing Amy. I mean, they're all great. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
but
that's my order.
yeah, I can understand that. I forgot how great Dogma was. And
Oh, that's a great.
I always forget that Alan Rickman is in it.
Yeah, dude, and like hearing about his performance and like
Yeah,
how he was behind the scenes, like he took this little goofy movie, which actually is not that goofy. It's a pretty
yeah,
profound. They talk
Yeah.
about some pretty cool stuff in there. Um, and they really he took it so seriously, which is awesome.
Yeah.
An actor of that caliber, like in a movie with like dick and fart jokes, that's
Yeah.
cool.
And what's even more awesome is after that, whenever Alan Rickman was in LA or wherever Kevin lives, I'm pretty sure it's LA. Um,
Yeah,
whenever Alan Rickman was in LA, he would call up Kevin Smith and be like, I'm in LA. We're going to dinner. um, so um, I can't do an Alan Rickman impersonation, so that's as best as you're going to get. um,
just do an AP5 impersonation.
I can't do that either. But back to Jon Schnepp. Um,
Yeah,
this will kind of be a little bit of a closing segment because I don't want to ramble too much, and I still have to figure out what else to talk about for Worst of the Wills on Wednesday. So I need kind of a clear emotional mind. Don't need to be all sad or anything like that. Um, you'll be missed. Um, but as Luke Skywalker said, no one is ever really gone.
very true.
So, as we always say with the Brick City Blockade Podcast Network, it's plug time. So, Kaden, I know you plan to only stay on for about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. Where can the people find you?
Yeah, and before I do that again, in memory of Schnepp, really treat every day of your life as an opportunity to change the world. Because very small things can make a huge impact, and really just remember that your end's coming maybe quicker than you think. So just leave behind a legacy that you're going to be remembered by, and just, like I said with the what was that? The whole Kelly Marie Chan thing. To put it in simple words, don't be a dick.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's my closing words. Rest in peace to John, and condolences to all his family and people close to
yes.
him. He'll be remembered as a great man. Um,
Yeah.
anyway, but you can find Rebel Cause at Rebel Cause Lanks here on Facebook and Instagram. We are a group of Star Wars fans that are dedicated to uniting the fandom and doing good in our community. Do that by having different events all around Lancaster and surrounding states and stuff, where we do some awesome Star Wars stuff, and we actually raise money for the homeless here in Lancaster. And
Yeah.
that's specifically Water Street Mission, a great organization that really builds people up and gives people hope. That's why we also call ourselves a Rebellion of Hope. You can find us on Teespring, where you can actually get our Rebellion of Hope T-shirt, which you picked up tonight, sir, which is fantastic.
Yes.
At tpublic.com, and that's at Rebel Chatter. That's our storefront. You can find Rebel Chatter, the official podcast of Rebel Cause, at rebelchatter.com. I have so many things. I need to figure out how to condense this all down. Um, which is the official podcast of Rebel Cause, where we want to hear your Star Wars story.
Yep.
You can find that on iTunes as well and all those other great podcasting apps all across the galaxy. And of course, you can find us on the Brick City Blockade Podcast Network, our brothers in the force that also promote this message of positivity, which is, of course, where you can find your show, which is
Words of the Wills, which you can actually get the very first Words of the Will shirt on TeePublic. Um, Unfortunately, the sale is over, so it's back up to $20. Which tomorrow, my first Words of the Will shirt will be here, so I will do my special lightsaber pictures with my Words of the Will shirt. Um, so um, you guys can also find me on Instagram at Andrew62592, on YouTube at Commander Nerd, which I will probably download and upload this live stream to YouTube. That way, people who are um, just watching stuff, tributes for Jon Schnepp on YouTube, that way they can watch it on there. And you can also find me on Twitter at agarish1. Um, and again, if any of you are having any issues or feeling depressed with the passing of Jon Schnepp, feel free to message me. I have no issues with talking to anyone and helping them as much as I can. Same goes for Kaden. I don't want to throw you under the bus, but if you wouldn't
Absolutely.
mind, um,
Hey, our community, you reach out to us.
yeah,
No matter what it is, we're all about helping everybody.
yeah,
Whether it's you just need to talk or if you're local, hey, we'll meet up. We'll go grab a beer and some wings, man, and we'll talk it out.
yes. And in closing, rest in peace, Jon Schnepp. We will all miss you. But you are one with the Force. And for everyone who wants to pay tribute to Jon Schnepp, like I did, Robin and Scott Inch, take whatever nerd thing you like and hold it up into the air for Jon Schnepp. And as we always say at the podcast network, may the force be with you. And for tonight with the tribute for Jon Schnepp, rest in peace, Jon Schnepp.